Adele has written like a lot of scripts. There's a whole storyline.
There are two different viewpoints in the film that make presumptions about whether or not extraterrestrial life is here to help or harm. Would you ask them for help, or would you not want to be harmed by them?
Well, I mean, I think the reason it's a question is because we don't know how they would respond. When something is unknown, people either lean into fear or curiosity, and both are valid reactions. And so I think that's sort of what's going on in the movie.
And it's a hard thing to know, like you said, like if you were to communicate with something like that, how do you even communicate with something?
Arrival.
Arrival, yeah. You know, it's like, you know, we got to get a linguist in here. It's you know, it's so complex, but it has to do with like Constance's characters having this sort of like dialogue with me and with yourself in a way of like, do we want to go back to what we are? Maybe we can be better, which is something that I don't have an answer for, and I don't know if any of us do. It depends on your own personal history in a lot of ways, and what's brought you to the place you are now, and how much belief you have in us as a species, which is fascinating.
Constance, I just want to ask you, because the first time I interviewed you was for a little film called Crazy Rich Asians. So is there any update? What can you tell us, if anything?
You know, it's a TV series at HBO, and we've Adele has written like a lot of scripts. There's a whole storyline, series arc, and everything, but it hasn't been officially greenlit. So even though all steps are moving towards that, I always kind of feel a little bit guilty to promise something when I actually have no power to deliver it, because yes, I'm going to do it if it gets greenlit, but I'm not a producer. I'm just an actor on it. So I don't, that process is, honestly, I don't really understand that process very much in terms of like green lighting and studios and like all that kind of stuff. I just understand acting. So, but yeah, I mean, all signs are very positive, and I feel really good about the storyline and where my character is going. But yeah, but it's not officially greenlit yet, so I can't really promise anything.
We can hold hope that we could see you as Rachel again.
All signs are pointing towards there, but it's not. Nothing's official. Yeah.
I am so excited to talk to you about this movie because I haven't been able to stop talking about it. We're wrestling with big questions and ideas here, but at the heart is a family surviving this very serious, weird situation. Tell us about how you created this dynamic and building this unit of super smart people who are needing to rely on each other and come together and survive this.
Well, I think it started from the script. It was a really well-informed script. Like, you really got it right away, and you fell right into the action of it and the dilemma of it pretty quickly. And I think also Constance is such a great actress, and we got along right away too. So then once we just started working together, it just clicked. I think,
we worked well together.
Very, very, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And then you're working with kids who haven't worked as much.
Yeah.
And they were great. They did such a good job.
Pros.
And like at first I thought, like, you know, sometimes in those situations you have to lightly guide the kids, but they didn't really need it. They kind of just did it.
Pros.
So you always hope it's going to come together like it did in this movie, and it just did. And I think that's when you have a good director at the helm too, and Will Woods did a really good job with that.
And it was on, like you were saying, it was in the script. It was on the page. So, you know, when something is well written, it facilitates that sort of connection.
Yep.
If I were to put my faith in anyone, it would be your character. That's the dichotomy there. So talk to me about, you know, this idea of who we can trust and the outer or the inner threats that are the most threatening.
Well, I think Michelle is, you know, they're in the same profession, but since having kids, and this is similar to my own life, you know, her values have changed and her decisions have changed. And I think I liked this movie because, yes, it's kind of about a big concept and things that are way out there in outer space. But I think the reactions we have to things like that are all based in preserving our connection with our loved ones.
Yes.
So I think having the family be the center of that was a really nice allegory for the bigger dilemma.
There are some moments of dialogue between your two characters that are gut punches, specifically about choices that are made to do with the family. Can you speak to that about, the decisions, you know, becoming a mother changed her, and yet the question is whether or not it changed him enough.
Yeah, and I think, you know, when you're in a relationship and these two people love each other and they respect one another greatly, but that doesn't mean you're going to agree on everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes the things you disagree on are fundamental, like very, very important, load-bearing things. And I think that comes to light, which is an interesting conflict that I think you have in all kinds of relationships, even if it's not your partner. And this isn't even what the movie's about, and this is what I like about the movie, that there's all these other kind of things that the movie's about. And it's sort of like, but if you love that person, how can you get over that? Or how can you guys work through that or come to a common ground in some sort of way? And there's a scene in the movie between us, and we both discuss it, it's our favorite scene in the movie, where we discuss it, but we discuss it very analytically and very calmly, and it doesn't become personal. And I think the entire movie kind of has that kind of vibe of people working together to try and figure something out without being awful.
To understand each other.
Exactly.
So we're not trying to prove our own points, we're trying to understand each other's point of view in that scene.
And almost fascinated by each other's point of view.
Yeah.
In a way.
And they feed each other.
Yeah.
And it makes you better to consider another person's point of view, which is just generally in life.
Totally,
actually makes you better.
I love that you shot this in rural Ontario. So did you enjoy it? Tell me about your experience there.
Well,
Nice.
you know, we're in North Bay, Ontario. I'd never been there before. I know Constance hadn't been there before either. And, you know, when you're on location with the cast and crew, you bond a bit more.
Yeah.
And you're not going home, you know, to do the dishes and bring out the recycling. Like, you're there with everyone all the time.
Yeah.
And North Bay is small. It's pretty quaint. And it also, you're just focused on your work, really. There's not really any distractions. There's no casino. Not that we'd be going there, but you know what I mean? It's its own place where that's just what you're doing. I like doing work in that kind of way, where it's like, I'm here to do this. And we were working all day, every day anyway. So, and Constance brought her kids, like it was really cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Your character is there's a physicality to her. You're shooting out in like rural Ontario. The character is familiar, or at least we think that she's familiar with the outdoors in the woods. Is that you? Like, are you, because it couldn't be me, I tell you.
In a different way, it's me. Like I was still breastfeeding when I shot that movie, my son, And it's like, I think there's a type of strength and fortitude that is just part of being a mother that I do think what is inherent in me since becoming a mother. But in terms of like, I don't know, like the handling of like guns and that kind, and like action, that's not really.
You sold it. Like I was seeing you.
Oh, thanks. Acting.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Really great.
Yeah.
I was like, could not be me. The scene that I was particularly fixated on, the gas station scene.
Yeah.
Whatever water, heavier, gas, whatnot. I had to watch it back 3 times. I still don't get it. Would you be good in that situation?
No.
Could you do the math yourself?
The math I would,
Math, you're way out of it.
I can do math, but the science of it, I would just decide to die. I just like this. I'm not going to survive through this.
Yeah.
I had to ask Will, the director, many times. I was like, I don't really get this, and he's like, no, it would work because gas is denser than water, so you'd be able to pump it.
So think about it as like salad dressing, right?
Yeah.
So you have oil and vinegar, and the oil floats to the top.
Yeah.
And let's say you have a straw that doesn't go to the bottom of the oil barrel, so you can't access the oil. But then if you put vinegar under the oil of the salad dressing, the oil's going to rise, right? So if you have a shorter straw, then you could suction off.
Thank you.
That's sort of it.
Now I get it.
I mostly get what you said.
You see the dressings that you have to shake up.
Oh, I know well. And you always want to get the oil off.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty good, yeah.
But I like that scene also because it's problem solving.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun. And problem solving as a family.
And the family, and you see how they all click together, how they're all a unit.
Thank you so much. Congratulations once again
Thank you.
for giving us a movie I could honestly, I'm still thinking about it, so I appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Thank
That's good.
you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you.